What's really going on in the collective energy this week. So it's been a crazy week last week, and they did tell us we needed to ground our energy and stabilize the incoming energy, collective energy. We had a very large X class solar flare last week, which was about the 30th of November to the 1st of December. Coming from a sunspot that is many times larger than the Earth, it was sending CMEs, which is coronal mass ejections, earthbound, very highly charged energy heading our way last week. So I know I felt that during the week as headaches. I had many headaches last week, almost daily. So a lot more than what I normally get, and different kind of headaches than I normally get as well. Almost made me feel lethargic but hungover without being hungover. But yeah, the energy was quite challenging last week, and they did tell us we needed to ground, we needed to stabilize that incoming collective energy. So let's hope we have some really good, positive, high energy coming in this week. I will be reading the collective energy to let you know what's really going on in the collective and how to best cope with the incoming energies. I'll also be doing a read with the Neptune moon to see to get a little bit more information on what's going on beyond our physical bodies. Now, I also find too, I had a very grounded week last week, just like they said. I did work hard on grounding. I did have, compared to the couple of fortnights before or a couple of weeks beforehand, the energy was really quite high. I felt awareness outside of my body. I was pretty much functioning in the spiritual realm or in the light body, and it was quite high energy. I want to thank everybody who commented and sent me messages. Thank you to Gypsy Dreamer, sent me a message about my aura on that day. And if you go back to series 3, you'll be able to see how bright and beaming my aura was on that day. And Gypsy Dreamer sent me colors and explanations about connected to the heart and the crown, which is exactly what I was working on in that series. So very interesting. So thank you so much for that. Let me know if you can see my aura. Let me know if you can see my aura today. White is an amazing color to see an aura with. You can actually see my aura starting to come in now. You'll see a light around here about this size. It's in the pale blue. You'll see it start to pulse and beam, and then you'll start to see it grow in certain areas, and then you'll start to see colors coming in. So different colors. You can see a bit of color in on this side, but that's, yeah, white, perfect for reading auras. So yes, maybe something you could practice while you're watching me do the video, and just do a little check on what's going on my light body, which is interesting, and do let me know. But as I said, I've been a little grounded this week, and sometimes I think they ground me because if I continued on my high energy, I would be so woo-woo that people just would not be able to connect with me at all. So I think sometimes for my own good, they tell me to ground, to be within the physical body, taking care of the physical needs, but being really grounded and present in the moment as a physical being. So I have to remember to do that. I did ask my cards what they wanted me to talk about this week, and they did say the radiant sun, but it could be the radiance of my aura a couple of weeks ago. So go back and have a look at that one, and let me know, yeah, if you can tell the difference between this week and a couple of weeks ago, because energetically there was a big difference. So let's get into today's reading. I'm going to do a reading to see what's incoming over this current week, so that we can all be prepared and best use the energy. If we have some really good positive energy coming in, it might be a good idea to use that. Do we need to broadcast and be part of the positive energy? I don't know. Let's wait and see what the cards see today. Then I'm going to do a little bit of question and answer with the Neptune moon and see what they want to reveal on our journey today. Let's take a look at the collective energies coming in for the week ahead. So we have some reality weaver here. This is a simulation awareness, but it's asking you to be aware of energies outside of your physical body. Now, this could be asking you to tap into your higher self, your higher consciousness, or your light body. It could also be asking you to, what it says, become aware of your role within the simulation. Now, that's a very interesting card for them to lay out, first of all, because in the next couple of weeks, I have an exciting new little play deck coming in around that topic: how to best play the game, what the game really means, and what our role is within the game. So maybe this is something that you'll start to open your eyes all about. And then in the next couple of weeks, I'll do some questions with Spirit about what really is this world or existence that we live in. But for now, this energy of the reality weaver is just asking us to pay attention to every part of our body. That's our physical body as well as our light body, and being aware that we are more than just the physical body, and we need to tap into the energies of our subtle bodies. Now, we have a shift coming this week in the collective energy for the week ahead. So we're standing at this energy of change is coming. It's imminent change, energy where we may feel sudden. It may feel like a big shift of from one day to the next. Maybe it affects you as being just feeling great one day and then feeling very low the next day, or the opposite way around. It could feel like all of a sudden you've got an abundant amount of energy and you feel really inspired and want to use that in a very creative or motivated kind of way. For others, it could mean it could be a feeling of the opposite. It could be cloudiness within your mind. Now, I feel the difference. Last week, I wasn't getting the ringing in the ears that I have been getting in the last couple of weeks, even though we had some very strong CME energy in our collective. But the cards did say that they wanted us to ground and stabilize that incoming energy. Today, we're not getting that energy. We're not getting the need to ground and stabilize the energy this week. It's more about energy of how we can best use that incoming energy. For some, it may be with that phoenix ashes there. It could be destructive or intense energy, and becoming aware of subtle energies because it is so intense. It may make just easier to read. So if you're not even used to reading that energy, it may become a lot more easier to read. Once again, the radiant sun is on the table, so we're going to be having a lot more energy incoming from the sun. That's going to be affecting the collective energy, the cosmic energy, but also creating some kind of shift coming. So this shift that's coming there in the center front perspective, shift your perspective. Things are a little bit different. It is indicating that this week will bring transitions or transformations that may even encourage us to change our paths, reorientate us, or urge us to be flexible and receptive to the incoming inspiration we may be receiving. Now, the radiant sun. This can indicate more flares or CMAEs heading our way, which is coronal mass ejection energy, highly charged particles incoming from the sun. It could be bursts of intensity, waves of light, plasma. It could shake our physical vessels or our physical systems. But collective, this energy may feel like heightened pressure within your head. And I know I felt this as headaches last week, regular headaches almost daily. It could feel like illumination, could feel like even irritation, and I did actually experience a lot of that last week, very flat energy last week. So it is raw solar fire. It's demanding integration within your energy, and it's asking you, it has no harm intended, you can see on the top card there, how do you make the best use of this incoming energy? Well, here's where the subtle awareness comes into play. It's going to help you become more aware of your subtle bodies, of both yourself and those around you. Maybe being more in touch with the collective energy or the energy that you experience just being around other people. It could even be heightened awareness of your own senses becoming stronger, more expanded outside of the physical body. So, this card reminds us to tune into quiet signals, take some time to go within and listen, heightened intuition, synchronicities, or the body just encouraging you to tap in to that subtle awareness of your own senses. So, the loudness that's going on with the solar energy in the cosmos right now, or the cosmic collective energy, it needs to be balanced by soft guidance or inner knowing. And it is one of the cards that I pulled for myself personally this week, was why I asked why we had to ground that or stabilize that incoming energy last week. And they told me it's because balancing was required. So maybe some of us are still trying to integrate that energy, stabilize that energy, or balance that incoming energy. So, how we adapt to it, experience it, or feel the subtleness of awareness will be felt differently by each individual person, depending on how open you become to tapping into this subtle body. So, here it is saying that you do need to balance. Balance is going to be again more important again this week, balancing that incoming energy within your own subtle bodies, but being able to find a way to use it that doesn't affect you in a negative way. So lifting and rising above, this is where the phoenix ashes comes into play, rising above that destructive energy or that fall back into negative or flat emotions, and rising from the ashes of the CMEs that have been incoming, perhaps even incoming again, to rise above that energy, to integrate it, to balance it, and to stabilize it. So the ashes of last week was challenging, but it does provide fertile ground for integration. So the phoenix energy speaks of rebirth, rising from the ashes, or destructive transformed into like a renewal energy. So whatever we felt last week, whether it was heavy energy, headaches, fatigue, maybe you integrated and was able to balance it last week and felt a full charge of your own energy. Please let me know if that's you. I'd love to know how all of you experienced that heavy collective energy last week. So here it becomes the foundation for rising stronger, clearer, more aware, and more aligned. So that's the positive that comes out of the phoenix ashes. Now, it also does bring an energy or a possibility of destructive or intense inbound energy, because it's sitting next to the sun there or diagonal to the sun. It could be saying that it is possible for more radiant sun energy that could be quite destructive on our systems or on our physical bodies. So, again, for some of you, even though it's not saying grounding, some of you may need to take care of your physical vessels or physical bodies over this current week. Now, the good intentions card that we finished with at the top, this is a way of putting this energy to good use. So, the culmination of the week is about choice. It's about how we choose to align, integrate, or balance this incoming energy. So it's a direct, fiery influx towards creation rather than chaos with that destructive phoenix ashes sitting there. So you need to anchor this energy through intentions, love, service, and clarity, peace and harmony within your own body, within your own kindness to yourself as well, being kind to your physical body as well. If you're not feeling inspired, or you're not feeling motivated, or you're feeling tired, you need to take this as a sign that your physical body may need a little bit of extra care and attention this week. So tuning into intensity, it becomes empowerment. This disruptive energy that could be disruptive for some becomes liberation energy for others. So it's to inspire us towards our radiant purpose. And that is how we can best use it for the best possible ways. So the flow of the coming week, this week, is a little different to last week. We feel shifting energy coming in. We open with the energy of shift and perspective change, or the awareness of what's going on in the collective as it sits on the first card. So we open up with that becoming aware of the subtle energies. We feel shifts coming within this week. Solar fire floods the field this week. Subtle awareness guides us through the noise and teaches us to become aware of our subtle bodies. Now, the Phoenix Rising transforms ashes into renewal. So, this intensity tests for some of us our resilience and our ability to stabilize the incoming energy. The good intentions this week channels the energy into healing, creativity, and collective uplift. So, today, for the current week ahead, it's some practical ways you could use this energy is to connect to the earth, stabilize this incoming solar energy or solar surges. Now, you can do this by walking in nature. You can do this by breathing in the air outside, becoming aware of and grounding yourself through your soles of your feet or your base chakra into the earth. It could also be that you use this to go within. Listen intuitively to the subtle awareness in what is being revealed to you at this time. You may also want to set intentions this week. Write, speak, or ritualize them in a direct way. And use that energy constructively instead of destructively. And embrace a rebirth. Allow endings to become the beginnings for your highest good. That's the collective energy coming inbound this week. Could be intense, but it also opens up possibilities to have heightened intuition or become more aware to the energy because we're going to be able to feel those shifts. So that's exciting news. And because we're finishing with that good intentions on the top, it's positive energy if we use it in the right way. So stabilizing still if needed, grounding, balancing if needed, but really just focusing on that subtle awareness because we end the shift in perspective or shift in energy that we may be feeling this week. So let's do some work with the Neptune moon now and see what they want to reveal. Asked before I came in today why we needed to ground that incoming energy last week. They did tell me we needed to balance and stabilize. We had the bull came out and the cosmic law card came out to let me know that it was important to stabilize and balance that energy. So I'm just going to follow on from that reading and see what they want to say about why it's important to stabilize that incoming energy. It's an upgrade. It's a cosmic upgrade. So it's collective energy upgrading if we are able to stabilize that energy. We have a false throne, indicating that it can also be used in the opposite as well. So some people will use this in a negative way or take advantage of the negative side effects that people are having from this incoming energy, which is why what is so important for us to stabilize and balance the incoming energy and use it as building blocks. So it's Kaba, physical matter. So it's really, again, saying paying attention to the physical body over that last week. That's why that was important, because it was an opportunity for cosmic upgrade. So what do you mean by cosmic upgrade? How do we experience that on the physical? So first of all, it is saying that you need to be able to experience that on the physical or use that cosmic energy upgrade. It's important to protect yourself from negative energy, so that sometimes that energy that's incoming can be felt in a negative way. It can lower your mood, lower your energy, lower your response to subtle awareness. So it's saying that you need to protect your energy, protect your physical body, protect it from the negative use of that energy. So that's very interesting. It's come up twice that it's saying that. Here it's returning back to your roots. So just going back to basics here, I think. Basics being protective white light energy, chakra balances if you need them, salt baths if you need them, energy in which you can build yourself back to your own toolkit that you use to lift yourself up. So if you're experiencing heavier energy last week or this week and you're still shifting that energy, it may take the entire week to shift that energy, but it is saying return back to basics. What do you normally do to pick yourself up out of negative energy? Do you take walks in nature? Do you eat good foods, engaging in the physical five senses? Do you meditate more? Do you try to sleep more? What do you normally do? Do you do chakra balances, visualization techniques? What is it that you normally use? It's asking you to return to your basics, what you would normally use to pick yourself up, to finish shifting or budging that incoming energy from last week. Keeper of Destiny is indicating Akashic records. That's interesting because they said that last week as well. There was a little bit of work upcoming for Akashic records. Possibilities to tap into the database of stored information. Okay. Also tapping into your soul family as well, your starseed family as well, asking them for cosmic alignment, cosmic stabilization. So if you are in that cosmic upgrade energy, that could be coming in from your cosmic family. So it is asking them to help you make the best use of that incoming energy. Okay, getting back to simulation awareness, what I'm going to be doing more further reading on that in the next couple of weeks with the new little play deck that I have. But is there something you would like to reveal to us today about the simulation awareness card that came up today as our first card? This one looks like it was coming out, so simultaneously it's a very similar word to simulation, and it's showing that our higher self and our lower self simultaneously exist at the same time. So you may want to focus on higher self, lower self, physical self, light body, rather than simulation. If that word or holographic or simulation doesn't sit right with you, maybe focusing in on that you exist on two different dimensions, being your higher self and your lower self. They're telling me to take care of your physical needs here. Rebalance is required. As they're telling me rebalance, they've given me the card of polar duality, opposite finding balance. So again, they're telling me to rebalance and they're saying we need to find balance. So it's rather than that shifting energy, which could throw us, for some of us, it could throw us in an up and down cycle this week, high mood, low mood, vice versa. So like I said at the beginning of the reading, they're showing that there's quite extremes of energy coming in over this current week, and we need to try and find that harmonic balance between the two. Again, we could be balancing our higher self and our lower self, our physical body and our light body, because that's what I was just talking about. Okay, so it may be opportunities to reveal to us. I've got a couple of things going on here. So revealing opportunities which were previously beyond our comprehension, because I'm talking about simultaneous or simulation awareness. Then we have for some people this is beyond comprehension. It doesn't sit right with you. You maybe don't comprehend how the whole thing works. If that's the case, it's about focusing on your higher self and your lower self, which is in the game is the player and the character. So, and it's just another way of saying physical body, light body, higher self, lower self, polar duality, opposites finding balance, balancing and aligning the two bodies, subtle bodies. So for some of you that it's the simulation awareness is beyond your comprehension, just bring it back to basics, just like that last card said. Bring it back to the roots, back to the basics in ways that you can understand. So it's our invisible body. So it says ethereal energy. It's our light body or our ethereal body. We do have the card here of the DNA, which is interesting because DNA stores information just like the Akashic records. So I think we have that coming up in the next couple of weeks, which I'm really looking forward to. Okay, I have Venus empathy here all again, asking us to balance out the energy this week. So that's really what they want us to focus on this week, is opening your awareness to your subtle bodies, your subtle awareness, your senses beyond your physical senses, but focusing in also on that simulation being the higher self and lower self, if you want to comprehend it in that way. They're asking you to open the doors a little bit more, tap into your genetic code where that information is stored, tap into the Akashic record where that information is stored, to bring in a little bit more higher insights for you personally. Please do let me know. It's this whole thing of understanding what's happening in the collective energy. I need to know what's going on with your energy. Are we all feeling the same things at the same time? Are we getting the fatigue? Are we getting the headaches? Are we getting the cloudiness in our minds? Are we getting the ringing in the ears at the same time? And then do we experience the highs, the shifting energy at the same time? From what I've been experiencing over the last few weeks, I have, and comments, people have been going through really intense high dreams about the same time I was having them as well. And I'd be interesting to know if you felt the shifting energy of that intensity, headaches and that kind of energy is there as well. Let me know what you're experiencing. I'm just interested in how the collective all responds to that energy, what you're doing with the energy, and how you are experiencing that energy in the physical body. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you again next week.